Hello, today we're going to talk about blood. So, the first thing that I would do is ask my students if they've ever seen blood before. And if they were like, ew, no, I'd say, well, what about when you lose a tooth? Do you see blood in your gums? Or if you scratch yourself, do you see blood? And then I would say, normally when we see blood, it looks like this.
Oh, my mom.
But I want to show you a picture today. And when I'm done showing it to you, I'm going to have you turn and talk to your partners to your shoulder partners about what you think it is. So this is the picture I would show. And hopefully it would show up better on like a ladybug or a dot cam in the classroom. But that's all I have for now. So I would show them that, and it is a magnified drop of blood. And so I would have them turn and talk to their partners, and then we would do a KWL chart. So what do we know about blood? It's red. It happens when we hurt ourselves. Those are the kind of answers I would be looking for. And then I would ask them what they want to know about blood, which I would have to generate probably with a lot more talking, like asking them questions about, does every animal bleed? Does every living thing bleed? And things like that. So after we do our KWL chart, we would move into I would tell them what the picture was, which is a magnified drop of blood. And I would tell them that each of those things in the circle represent different parts of our blood. And then I would show them a model of what our blood looks like. So first, I would add the plasma, which is a light yellow fluid that holds our blood cells together. And for that, I'm using light corn syrup.
And what's that for?
If I can get it open. So obviously we have a lot of plasma in our blood because it is the liquid part. So I would fill my cup up with that. And the cool thing about using light corn syrup is that it actually has a light yellow tint to it, which so does plasma. You can't really see it that well on here. Then the next thing that I would add to my blood model would be red blood cells. And I explained to my students that red blood cells are the most abundant, which means that they are the most common cell found in our blood, and that these red blood cells carry oxygen to all the other cells in our body. And since we have a lot of those, we would add a lot of them to the corn syrup. The next thing we're going to add to our blood cell model is white blood cells. And we don't have as many of those as we do red blood cells. So I would tell the kids that these cells are what protects us from colds and viruses and that keep us healthy. And these are just white lima beans. And then finally, we would be adding platelets to our model, which I'm using purple sprinkles because platelets actually show up as a purple color. And I would explain to them that platelets are what help us stop bleeding. So I would ask them if any of them have scabs or scars that bled a lot and then they stopped bleeding. And I would explain to them that is because we have platelets in our blood that keep our blood from just coming out everywhere. And so I'm going to add a little bit of this fake blood in here to give it a more red color, like our blood.
I don't like blood. You don't like blood.
And so there is our blood model. And I would ask the kids questions like, To generate more questions from them, I would ask them what they found most interesting about our blood, what they would want to know more about our blood. And then I would probably have them draw their own diagram based on what they learned about our blood. So that's all. Thanks.